Gentlemen, we have with us the esteemed speaker Shri Anil Swarupji, today's last speaker of the program on STTP, a short-term training program on soft skills and personality development. I would like to take the opportunity to introduce our esteemed speaker, Shri Anil Swarupji. During his career spanning 38 years, Sri Anil Swarup attempted to make it happen. Born in Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh, he earned his master's degree in political science from Allahabad University in 1978, where he was also awarded the Chancellor's Gold Medal for being the best all-round student before joining the Indian Administrative Service in 1981. नितिन सर, आपका माइक जो है ऑन है, प्लीज उसको ऑफ करिए.
Okay.
He served before joining the Indian Administrative Service IAS in 1981. He served the Indian Police Service for a year. He won the Director's Gold Medal for the Best Officer Trainee at the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration amongst the officers of his batch. As a civil servant, he had held various assignments with both the state Uttar Pradesh and central government. During the final years of his career, he served as secretary to the Government of India in the Ministry of Coal, where he handled the aftermath of the coal scam. Thereafter, he served as secretary, school education and literacy, where he attempted to foster public-private partnership to improve quality of school education. As a strategic thinker and an innovative leader, he won several awards and nominations, the prominent ones being nominated as one of the policy change agent by the Economic Times during the years 2010, 2012, 2015 and 2016. He was selected as one of the 35 action heroes in India Today's 35 annual edition. He is the founder chairman of an initiative towards recognizing some, I'm sorry, something is missing, sir. Recognizing positive action and providing inspiration to society to replicate them. He is also the author of best-selling 2 books, as you must have seen on the Not Just a Civil Servant and Dilemma of a Civil Servant. So now I would like to introduce Professor, to hand over the virtual dais to Sri Anil Swarupji.
Good afternoon, everyone, and what a pleasure it is to be back with the organization. Of course, the people are different. May I request all of you to switch on your videos? It would be worthwhile having a look at the expressions on your face as I talk. So my request to all of you is, those who are on video, you can keep your audios off, but keep your videos how I would prefer. Today I will talk about leadership.
It will invite
and my own journey in terms of leadership. No, they can keep their mics off, but their videos can be on. It won't impact anybody. Videos on doesn't impact anybody. It would be better if I have a set of people sitting in front of me and I can see the visuals and the reaction as I go along.
Fine, sir. Fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
The choice is theirs, but I would suggest that if they have the videos on, it will be better. So I will talk about leadership, and when we talk of leadership, we normally talk about what we do to others. But my focus today, and each one of you, I would believe, is a leader. I talk about the focus on the leader himself. Because the leader, I have always believed that a leader has to do a lot to himself before he starts doing to others. In my 2 books that I have written, Not Just a Civil Servant and Ethical Dilemmas of a Civil Servant, I've touched upon this aspect a bit as a leader. At this point in time, when I talk to you, having spent 38 years in the civil service, many of you would believe that I am fluent in what I say. It didn't happen overnight. There was a long journey to becoming what I was. And in that context, I do believe almost everyone has the opportunity of becoming what he has the potential, provided you realize what your potential. Earlier years of my life, I used to be reasonably frustrated. I was doing pretty well in the education sector, but till about 7th, class 7, I didn't win a single medal or a cup. And I used to feel very frustrated because I used to participate in everything, but never really won anything. I hear, is the audio not clear? Chaubeji, is the audio not clear?
Sir, it is very much clear. Clear, sir, clear.
Very clear, sir.
Yes,
Clear,
there are
sir.
many people who are
It is
commenting
clear.
that the audio is not clear.
Sir, at times it is cracking in between, but overall it is fine, sir.
It could be on account of the
It's fine with us. It may not be fine with some.
problem I have here.
Yeah,
It's breaking, they
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Let me see. Is it better? Sangeeta Mishra, you say the voice is cracking. Is it fine now?
Yes, sir.
It is better, sir. It is better.
Mosab Ali ji, Anjana Vijay, these have commented.
Yes, sir. Now it is much more better.
Is it better now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I was saying was that the focus has to be in yourself. And in my own journey, I discovered that I had a lot of problems to begin with. And it was my mother who kept telling me that you have to keep trying. Results are not in your hand. Of course, at that point in time, I didn't understand the meaning of karmanyavadikaste ma phalechu kadachana. It's much later in life that I discovered the meaning of it. But I was gradually trying to understand, can I possibly enjoy what I'm doing rather than focus on the results, focus on what I achieved or I didn't achieve? No, it was not easy throughout my career. I remember the years that I didn't come first in the class, I used to feel terrible, little realizing now that no one talks about the rank that I would have got in class 5, 6, or 7. Look at what we do to our children, how much pressure we put on them to come first in class. Ultimately, it has no meaning, I'm telling you from my personal experience, but the amount of pressure the parents, the teachers, everyone puts on a child on doing so well. Yes, doing well is fine. The problem is that we are competing with each other, whereas we should be competing with ourselves. We don't realize that each individual is very different. Every individual is very different. So obviously there can't be a competition between the two, but that's how we have evolved in the society, that we compete with each other and hence create unnecessary pressure on ourselves, on everyone else. Now imagine a scenario if we were to compete with ourselves and learn from others. But unfortunately, our education system, our society is such that we want to, so to say, excel. And in excelling, we are not excelling ourselves, we are competing with others. So somehow, anyhow, I want to climb up the ladder, irrespective of the damage that I do to myself and to others. So I obviously, I didn't learn all this right in the beginning of my career. Won my first cup and my first medal. Thereafter, of course, I won many of them. But the fact of the matter is, initially I didn't. Similarly, and this is addressed to those people who may feel themselves a bit handicapped about the manner in which they are evolving. Because let me tell you very frankly, there's not a single person in the world who hasn't committed a mistake, who hasn't had failures. And I think the champions are those people who succeed in life, are those that do not get bogged down in those failures and mistakes. And I wanted to become a debater. So I did my class 12 where I had science subjects. And then I switched over to arts, humanities. And my language was very poor. It has stopped now. During our times, there used to be ragging in the university. And I could barely write beyond 3 lines. My expression was very poor. So I realized that instead of feeling down, instead of being handicapped, I started working on it. I don't want to become a debater as well. Now I'm very fluent now in English and Hindi, but at that point in time, I could barely speak. So I went through a routine. And when I was going through that routine, many of my friends used to make fun of me that he's doing this, he's doing that. I didn't mind. I did because I was totally focused on myself. But still, there were occasions when I was I forgot what I had to say. And there on the rostrum, I stood for 10 seconds and then I had to walk out. There was another very interesting experience. I can't call it interesting. I can call it interesting now. At that point in time, it was pretty traumatic. And it finds mention in my book as well, where I had gone to IIT Kanpur on a national cultural festival, where I had gone there as a debater. I had practiced a lot and I had become a reasonably okay debater. But I wanted to participate in the music competition also. And this music competition was a singing competition. I thought I sang well. Many of us do think that we are good singers. So what I did was I participated in that competition a day before the debating competition. And during that competition, as I started to sing, I picked up the wrong note. Those who know music will understand what I'm saying. And having picked up that wrong note, I couldn't carry on. And I was booed out by the audience of 1,000 students. Now look at my mental frame at that point in time when they booed me out. I just had to walk out. And I was absolutely distraught. And next day was my debating competition. And I virtually wanted to, cry out of it, not participate. One of my seniors came to me and asked me, "Yaar Anil, ye batao, jo ho gaya sab tum kuch kar sakte ho?" I didn't understand first. Then he went on to explain, "Bhai, wo jo hona tha to ho gaya. Why should your future be ruined by a failure that happened yesterday?" And then he went on to explain to me that my forte was debating. It was not singing. So if it has gone wrong, so be it. You focus totally on your event tomorrow. Now, when I reflect on that, and it's mentioned in my book, I realize how important those words were. When our saints have said, "No, biti tahi bisar de aake ki sun le." I think there is so much in it. We don't understand that. What do you mean by biti tahi bisar de? It's not that you should not learn from the past, but you should not live in the past. Much of the problems that we have in our society is on account of living in the past. We can't come out of our history. Somebody hit us a slap at some point in time, and we are doing everything to hit back. So that creates a problem. So next day, I got over it. I went to participate in the debating competition. And the moment my name was announced, everyone in the audience started shouting, "Gayak aa gaya," because I had participated the day before, and they remembered the same guys coming to do a debate. But by that time, I had overcome my fear. And I went and spoke, and I got the first prize in a national debating competition. And thereafter, I haven't looked back. I can talk to any audience anywhere in the world. I've done it. Because you have to overcome your fear. Bothered about others that we don't focus on ourselves. And I'll keep telling you how by focusing on yourself, you can actually evolve as a leader. Now, when you look at leadership, you look at two aspects. One, what you can do to yourself, and what you can do to others. Mind you, you are not going to change anybody else. If anyone in this audience believes that they're going to change somebody else, forget it. The only control that you have is over yourself and nobody else. As an IAS officer, many of my colleagues believe I'll do this, I'll do that. You may do it, but whether others want to change or not, it's for them to decide. You are nobody to tell them. But you can do a lot to yourself. Because the normal approach is that you tend to blame others for your failures. Now, you heard of this, "Umr bhar yahi bhool karta raha Ghalib, dhool chehre pe thi, aina malta raha." Now, if that be the case, there is a problem. But then you are finding faults with others. You are not trying to do what you ought to do. Whereas the focus has to be on yourself. If you want to become a leader, you have to become, pardon my using this phrase, totally selfish. You have to focus totally on yourself. What you can do. You have to improve your khudi. Khudi ko kar buland itna ki har takdeer se pehle khuda bande se khud पूछे bata teri raza kya hai. Now, these are the last two lines of my book, Ethical Dilemmas of a Civil Servant, where I'm trying to convey to my colleagues that you can't do anything to anybody else, but you can do a lot to yourself. That is where your focus is. Then the next question is, how do you do it to yourself? What should you do